feelings for Imogen. You know what my feelings are about Imogen. I do think that was good advice, but generally speaking, I think Imogen needs to mind her own fucking business.
How's your weekend been?
It's been nice. I've just been, I'll be honest, like passed out on the sofa most of today.
Yeah.
Try like the PMS has been PMSing.
Oh no.
Actually, I'm a lot better today than I was yesterday.
Yeah.
Hello, Millie.
I love that you
Yesterday.
can actually see her this time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. She's actually in shot now. I could zoom in on
Yeah.
Millie if I want. Millie!
Oh my god.
Millie, who's that? Mildred. Millie.
Oh no, we're not doing that. It's okay.
No.
It's okay.
It's fine. Never mind. Sorry, Millie. Yeah,
So like
yeah.
the bitch is back.
Yeah. Do you mean this one? Or yeah.
Both.
Yeah. The bitch is back because the PMS is gone. I had a
Yeah.
little, what felt
Good.
like a cramp in, I assume, like my left ovary earlier today. So
Yeah.
it's on, I guess.
Okay.
But I'm
Yeah.
back. So
I'm
hopefully,
back.
yeah, hopefully I'll be on
I
top
have
form
a
today.
I have a bone to pick with you. So you know how we were
Okay.
speaking about what you get like when you're PMSing
Yeah.
and you're like, I feel like everyone hates me. I think you okayed me like okay earlier today. And I was like, oh my god, she's mad at me.
Did I?
I can't remember if it was like
Right.
this morning or if it was yesterday.
I'm putting
And I was
myself
like,
on trial right now.
it's like, is she
What did
mad
I
at
do?
me?
When did I do this?
You did it this afternoon, and then
Oh, I wrote yeah.
yeah, okay.
No, wait. Hang on.
It was
That
last
yeah was
night. It was
mid-conversation. It was not like
no,
the
not the yeah. It's I have a weird thing about when people write just okay, like the O and K, just okay, really short. For me, if you're happy and I've not made you angry, okay, like OKAY is when and
I don't
okay is when I'm pissed off with you.
I don't want to gaslight you right now, but I don't see an okay in WhatsApp. Did I do it somewhere else?
No, you definitely do it on WhatsApp. Yesterday at 10:54 p.m. Yeah, okay, with an exclamation mark. I was like, that okay doesn't sound okay.
I
And also,
literally
to be
can't
fair,
see this message anywhere. Read me the conversation.
so I was like, hello, darling. Ben is heading out at 5:30 tomorrow. Want to do it in the evening instead? And you replied, yeah, okay, with an exclamation mark. So, like, yeah, okay. She was excited, but the
Like the
okay was
millennial
beyond.
enthusiasm. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, is she being sarcastic? Is she mad at me? Is she, like, is she angry?
But then I
Um,
immediately did you not get the message I sent after?
I did get the message, but I was also out, so I had no connection. So that message came through like 30 minutes later.
Right. Therein
So
lies
like,
the problem.
the
Okay,
problem.
because
Yeah.
I sent it at the same time.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, did I do something? Probably like
No.
twiddling my thumbs on the way home, like, oh, is she mad?
No. No. I wouldn't tell you if I was, but I wasn't. I'd just get over it.
You'd be able to tell me if you're pissed off.
Do you know what? I think I we've talked about the way I am with friends and that I'm not always good. I think that I would have some bad behavior to work past, but I think I would do it for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like it's because I also have issues. Yeah. I think the okay thing is just me being like
Right.
reading too much into it.
What I need an alternative to okay then. Like it's something that's not triggering. All right.
Okay, no. Oh my god, no. No, it has to be if you're angry at me, if you send me okay, I know that you're pissed off. I know that I've done something that I've pissed you off. If you're mad, you can okay me. That's okay.
Okay, so I have to okay AY.
Yeah.
Is that a you thing, or am I making everyone think I'm mad at them?
No, I think I don't know, but for me, I read that as like you're annoyed or like I've done something or like
I
you're
think
yeah.
maybe a lot of people think I'm mad at them quite often, and I don't know that they know that.
Anyway,
Let's go on with it. Let's go on with it. Right. Violet and Jacinia have begun sharing contraband literature in an unofficial alliance based on their distrust of leadership and information. Violet's reunited with Xaden. They don't fuck, as Xaden wants Violet to love him again. On returning, Varrish forces Violet to the point of burnout when Andana refuses to show up for more maneuvers. Violet's PTSD causes her to almost attack Riddick. Riders are then abducted and forced through a survival exercise with their signets suppressed. They narrowly survive an encounter with Bade, Jack's old dragon. Violet drugs Sloane's sparring opponent to ensure her win, and Sloane then agrees to train with Imogen in exchange for Liam's letters. Imogen chastises Violet for her trust issues. Violet nearly loses control when Markham teaches false propaganda in class. Xaden visits. They argue over Violet's research on the wards and her secrecy, but not before they meet Jacinia together. Tairn puts his foot down against Varrish's punishments by threatening Solas' life. Violet nearly confides in Rhiannon, but it realizes that Varrish is nearby, and who then threatens her. Violet visits Xaden and Mira, who's been reassigned, and Violet and Mira discuss Xaden and the details of the wards, which Mira is suspicious about. And that is the end of the 5:45 news. Now over to Tammy with the weather.
With the weather, well, we're looking a little bit stormy. I kind of want to start with the first discussion point this lovely evening about Violet and Xaden. I think I've got 3 really discussion points this time.
That's okay, because I only have 1, so.
Oh, okay. I think we'll start with Xaden and Violet because I do think that there will be a recurring discussion point because we'll need to stay updated with what's going on in their showmance. So I've got right. Sorry, my notes are all over the place. Xaden and Vi. This is not in order whatsoever. Apparently, we're gonna start with chapter 20 and just work our way back.
Do you want to just
in general?
You tell me what your feelings are about Xaden and Violet, and I'll just blind react.
Yeah, okay. I am now getting frustrated with Violet that she also has secrets from Xaden, which he knows. He finds out. Like she's researching the wards and all that stuff without telling him, and so on.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's tit for tat at the moment.
Yeah.
Like you had a secret, I have a secret, blah blah blah. I kind of feel really bad because we kind of see them argue this time around, and I was so angry with their argument because walking away from there is nothing that makes me more angry than when you're arguing with someone and they walk away.
Oh, I totally agree. Like that is unacceptable behavior, and I feel like it's something that I've had in past relationships, and if that person can't work through that, then we can't work through our problems, and then the relationship will like it's just a dead sign that relationship will eventually end.
No, I completely agree. And also the funniest part for me is that is so hypocritical of me because I'm a crier in arguments, so I will walk away so I can cry and cuz like I don't want you to see me upset if we're arguing. So I'll walk away to compose myself, but I will come back. But yeah, that's something my man always like holds me accountable for, and he's like, "Come back here, we've not finished." And then I just cry in front of them, and I'm like, "Oh, right." But yeah, it did really annoy me because I feel like at this point they just need to have a conversation with each other, and I know that it's hard because they don't get enough time with each other, and I don't feel like they're ever gonna come to a solution with this issue that they seem to be having, at least not anytime soon. But I kind of understand why he feels so strongly about keeping things secret, especially knowing that they're gonna go through that challenge, the torture challenge, as I keep calling it. Um, what kind of information? No, I have a lot of faith in Violet that she wouldn't spill in that
Yeah.
while she's getting beaten the crap out of.
Yeah.
But I do get where Xaden is coming from. Kind of.
Okay.
That's
Here's
sort of where I'm at with them too.
you and I do disagree on this a little.
Mm-hmm.
So
Go
I
on.
wasn't annoyed. I thought it was a really good argument. Because
Right.
I liked it was really real. I felt like it was, you know, um, neither character was perfect, and
Mm-hmm.
I totally get why. Like, I don't think Violet is being a hypocrite by keeping things from Xaden when she's demanding full disclosure, because she's not
Mm-hmm.
being given it. She's been denied it. So like,
Yeah.
why would she tell him everything
Mm-hmm.
when he's outright said, I'm not going to do the same for you? And I thought it was
Yeah.
very hypocritical of him to get mad about the fact that she kept this secret and to tell her off and say, no, you can't do this, you have to tell me what you're doing, I have to know everything. Because I just thought that was so, he really exposed his own hypocrisy there and kind of got a
Yeah.
taste of his own medicine. And I don't think she'd really set out to do that, but I do think that
Mm-hmm.
she's protecting herself from him emotionally right now. That's
Yeah.
not a secret. So I'm not surprised. But I thought that the
Yeah.
discussion was really good. It was meaningful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it came out, and both characters were really forced to kind of confront the bad behavior that they're both guilty of. Um,
Yeah.
and even though they didn't really reach like a conclusion on it, I still felt that it was really productive that they both
Mm-hmm.
went away with that having happened to kind of
Yeah.
consider, mull it over. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I I I don't really have any predictions right now, because I do think that the interrogation portion of this for Violet is going to get hijacked by Varrish, and he's going to use it as an opportunity to just genuinely interrogate her. But I
Yeah.
also don't think that um, I don't think that that's a really insightful prediction for me to make. I think that
Yeah.
most people probably expect that.
I think that's the way that
Yeah.
it's looking anyway. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm not upset with either one of them. I totally get where they're both coming from, and what I really like
Mm-hmm.
is that they disagree, um,
Mm-hmm.
and they're having to negotiate and try and find a middle
Yeah.
ground, and that's very, to me, that's very a very adult relationship thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't reached that you know um, common ground yet. They haven't reached that resolution, but
Mm.
one of them or both of them are going to have to compromise, and I think that's an adult thing too. Um,
Yeah.
and what I also really like is that I totally get both sides of the argument. I totally get why Xaden's
Yeah.
saying it's normal, like, not full disclosure is um, unrealistic,
Mm-hmm.
and I totally get why Violet's demanding it given the trust issues she has. Yeah, I suppose if you put it
Yeah.
in like I'm doing a lot of talking, but I suppose if you put it in like a real life equivalent, you might say
Mm-hmm.
a girl whose partner cheated on her, but they decided to stay
Yeah.
together, and she's demanding to have access to his phone whenever she wants, and he's saying
Mm-hmm.
that's like a long term, that's not you know that's not trust, that's not moving
Yeah.
forward. And she's saying, I don't care, I think actually that's the only way I can trust you, so I need you to do that. It makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I think this argument is the first time where I kind of see them as human,
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
flawed,
Like
like
the
real characters. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I do think that on a like literary perspective, I thought completely agree with you. I thought it was needed. I thought in terms of character development, it was needed. And I think it really, what ties it really well together is that they're angry at each other, clearly, because they had an argument, haven't been able to see each other for a week. They don't have phones to like communicate with each other easily. And then we get to chapter 20 where there's sort of like that build up of, which we'll get to, of like Mira and everything else. And we kind of see Violet sort of like break down that, you know, she does feel lonely. She feels really guilty that she's having to lie to her friends, that she is really suffering. I think it's the first time where we get her, where we see her admit that she is suffering with all the events that has happened so far, and losing Liam and all of that and lying to everybody. And having Xaden be the one that comforts her, even though they're arguing and there's a lot of other stuff that they really need to work through, made me feel hopeful. It was really there for her. I thought it was really cute.
I mean, I really like the conversation that she had with Mira about the realization, like Mira seeing their relationship for the first time. First of all, yeah, it's a bit of a dick move, Xaden, like demanding a kiss from her, knowing that Mira was there and she didn't have that context. Obviously, it was supposed to be a very like sexy moment for the female audience, like he's claiming his territory or whatever. I get that, but also at the same time,
I didn't know that was gonna go, like how that was gonna go. I was like, oh shit, like a new commander has come through, and they're questioning why, like, him and her spend so much time together, like why they go to each other's room, kind of thing. I didn't think Mira was gonna rock up.
There he goes, making decisions for her that she doesn't really have time or context to process. She just has to kind of trust in it, and she does trust it still. But I wouldn't necessarily argue that was the right one. But Mira, what I thought was really interesting was Mira's response was to come up with what was, you know, all the very predictable questions and concerns that we knew she'd have. But what I really liked was the fact that it really got in Violet's head, because she's now seeing all of that for herself and experiencing it, and she's having these doubts as well. It wasn't like in the last book where it was all just falling on deaf ears, and she is feeling that uncertainty and insecurity, and you could see that it was affecting her this time.
Yeah, I thought it was a very like big sister, little sister sort of vibe. And like obviously Mira was like looking after her, and I thought it was really sweet. I was kind of shocked that Violet didn't tell her about Brennan, but not surprised that she also wouldn't break Xaden's trust.
Well,
to tell Mira about Brennan.
I know that we didn't really want Violet to be in this position. We don't want her to be forced to make the same choices that Xaden made, so that as an audience we could call her a hypocrite when she doesn't forgive him. But here we are. And now when I consider what would happen if she does and doesn't tell people, I do think that she is going to tell somebody at some point. Because she nearly told Rhiannon in this 10 chapters. She nearly let it slip. And I don't know that I'm going to say that's necessarily the wrong decision in terms of who she chooses to trust, but I do think that I kind of wonder if the person that she does tell will be more of an interrogation risk than she is. Yeah. So that maybe is more of the risk, because I agree with you. I don't think she'll cave. Unless it's like a case of wearing down her mental shields and then she's at risk. That's also possibly true. But
because you know what? Now that you've mentioned the mental shields, we've not seen Dane in a while.
No, he's totally backed off, hasn't he? He's gone. Like for now.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's probably doing all the interrogation stuff.
That's
To be
what
fair.
I've been thinking.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I've been thinking. I was like, this part of the, because from what I've realized, especially with that conversation with Mira,
Mm.
Mira didn't really tell Violet what happens. Like,
Mm-mm.
if it was me and my sister, I would be like, right, so you're in the second year. This is what's gonna happen, like this semester or whatever. This is what's gonna happen in the interrogation. They use this, this, and this on me. Like, get yourself ready. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like neither Mira or Xaden or even Dane were like preparing her for any of that. Whereas I feel like in the first book, they gave her the option and the choice to sort of like prepare for whatever was coming. Whereas
Mhm.
this, we've not really had any information about what she's going to go through this interrogation. So I don't know if it's like different every year, but I would not be surprised if Dane is in there.
I think this is a redemption. This will be a redemption opportunity for Dane if he's in there and he chooses to protect her.
Chooses. Yeah.
We know that's all he's ever wanted to do, and this might
Yeah.
actually be his opportunity to do something right.
Mm.
But we'll see.
I really hope so. Yeah. I really hope so. One thing that I am going to add is just whilst we're talking about the interrogation, I'm kind of convinced at the moment. I forgot his name, but you know the healer that always heals Violet, and the
Yeah,
last time we saw him, he was very
Nolan.
like, yeah, very sick and looking and very tired and disheveled.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're like, because we know that now that after the conversation that we had with Mira, that some people die, some people get very badly hurt, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nolan specifically being like the main healer at Buskayev is like working his ass off because Varrish is like questioning everyone about
Mm,
things, and maybe is getting a little bit brutal, a little bit too brutal.
yeah, maybe you're
Um,
right. I can't think of a better
and all,
explanation.
yeah, like in my mind, I was like, that can only be it. Like, but I was thinking that before chapter 20, where we sort of see that conversation. And I also would like to know what he was doing with the scribe that when he were, you know, where how, um, when Violet goes to meet Jacinia in the, what I imagine is like a freaking cave looking thing tunnel, and they bump into him and he goes into the library or wherever, he goes into that room, and it was just all very secretive and it was all very random, and I was like, why do we need to know that Nolan is like going from these places? And it felt a little sus,
Hmm.
basically. It just felt a little sus. um
We'll go back a minute to um, Violet keeping Xaden's secret, and
yeah.
I do think that it is the right thing to do.
Mm.
And I think that she knows that too. And
Yeah.
I've thought about the possible consequences if she chose to tell XYZ person.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it would be the wrong decision to tell people right now.
Yeah.
But I I do think that there are that she would choose correctly when it came to who to trust.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I know, obviously, I really hope it's Rhiannon, but she's kind of already told Jacinia a lot more than she should have.
Yeah, well, they've got kind of a mutual understanding, haven't they? Like,
Mm.
Jacinia had already picked up on some stuff not being quite right, and Violet's just sort
Yeah.
of pointed her in the right direction, which I thought was
Yeah.
really good. Um, I'm curious to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again, we saw that student that got that was basically killed for reading books that he shouldn't have. So that's obviously really important. So it's not a prediction because I feel like there's just so much going on, but also not enough. But I am kind of worried because we're over halfway of the second book. By now, we know not to get attached to characters. And I'm actually quite scared because the only character that I feel like could be in danger is Jacinia right now. That aren't obviously the main group. Because if Jacinia gets found out that she's like looking for books and giving out books that she shouldn't be, I don't know. I just really hope that girl is being secretive enough.
I don't know why, but I'm not worried about Jacinia at all. I feel like I just have a weird amount of trust that she'll play her cards right. I don't really know why.
I think it's not about like obviously like 100%. I think she's very smart or smart enough, but I'm more worried about somebody else finding out and her. I don't know. I feel like she's one of those characters that like is just there and comes in at like really important points to give you like information, and then she disappears for a bit, and then she comes back again with more information, and then she disappears again. And I feel like in terms of disposable characters that aren't the main group, Jacinia to me would be a disposable character. Because I literally, if any, like in terms of like the next big death, I can't imagine who it could be. Wasn't even a discussion point in my mind.
I know. Yeah. I think I've still got a load of like peripheral riders, especially around like Imogen's friendship group. Like, Quinn's. Is Quinn still alive? Or have we got one called Avery? I feel like
I can't remember any of them.
Can't remember. Yeah.
To be fair, they were briefly introduced and then they just fucked off.
Yeah, like we've got Jack's ex-girlfriend, whatever her name is, Catherine something, and I still think Jack's alive. I still think he's alive. It was just weird that his dragon cropped up again, like supposedly on her own in the forest. Like,
hold on, this is such a good point, and I was gonna mention it later on my foot, marry, kill, but I thought if the rider died, the dragon died.
No, so it's the other way around.
I think that's why I keep getting confused. Yeah. Right, if the dragon dies, the rider dies.
It depends on the strength of the dragon's bond. And apparently the bond grows increasingly strong with each consecutive rider. But some don't bond strongly generally, and some do. That's what I gathered it to mean. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was a bit
weird.
Yeah, it's just a bit. I don't think anything is out of the blue or coincidental in this book, so
no, exactly. And I do feel like in terms of the dragons, let's completely go off topic and then on a tangent. I think in terms of the dragons at the moment, we're kind of seeing a very like for Violet and against Violet. Yeah. But it's not even Violet's fault at this point. It's for Tairn against Tairn. Like it's really getting
Tairn's like past life drama is being a real problem right now. Like he needs to keep his house in order, which
I fully agree.
Also brings me to my discussion point. I really want to talk about Varrish.
Yes.
So I've got a bit of a bone to pick, not with Varrish himself, because I think that's self-explanatory. I don't understand why he's still alive. Like, I'm not being funny, but in Tairn's position, I think not only would I have been like, better safe than sorry, just kill Solas, get him out the picture, or just kill Varrish, frankly. Like, it's not like anyone can actually have a go at him for killing Varrish. think that's the main thing. It's his jurisdiction almost. No, like Varrish has, as is quite clear, no authority over Tairn or any of the dragons whatsoever. And if Tairn has authority over Solas, which he clearly does, why doesn't he just, like, I don't get it. I think that would have been a lot cleaner. And I think that we're going to pay for the fact that he didn't do that. And I can't see it. I'm annoyed. I can't see any reason for that besides just like setting up a future moment of the plot
issue.
And like, just kill him.
So I do agree with you, because especially that scene where when Tairn made Varrish fucking bow down or kneel down to Violet and apologize, I was like, holy fucking shit, this is gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Just kill him.
However, Violet was the one that was basically like, don't kill him. Because Violet knows that he's got, like, if Violet knows that she needs to control Tairn in the sense of, like, he's her dragon. They need to have a mutual sort of understanding, I guess.
They need to have a good relationship, but like, I still don't really get. I still don't really get what the issue. Like, Tairn doesn't always listen to Violet, and nor should he, according to the rules of the game. I think if Varrish is a threat to Violet's life and therefore by extension his life, he's actually well within his rights in this scenario, and he has been, because he nearly killed Violet in their previous punishment. So actually, I think Tairn would be able to do that and walk away with no repercussions, which in my mind just makes me think you just should have done it.
I think I fully agree with you. I do think we are being set up for a dragon fight between Solas and Tairn. I do. Either a showdown between them two, or Tairn is gonna appear during one of Varrish's punishment on Violet and gonna eat him alive. That's kind of what I see happening. I don't know if it will happen, but it's kind of it's kind of a prediction, I guess.
I think it's coming back to that interrogation prediction, if you want to call it that. I think what we're seeing is they found a way to suppress somebody's signet. They're clearly going to use that in interrogation. So Tairn will be powerless to either find Violet or help her in the scenario when, like, they use it to interrogate her.
Need it.
So Violet will literally be in a situation where she is completely and utterly helpless. She doesn't have her powers. We know Varrish has... I think Varrish chose that punishment to test the strength of her powers and see just what she could and couldn't do. They know how to suppress them. They're clearly going to try and interrogate her for real, and they are going to make it so that Tairn has absolutely no power to do anything about it. And that, to me, I think that's how that's going to play out. So just kill him.
Because exactly. Like, before it gets any worse, just kill him. I kind of want to mention the point that you've just made about how easy it is for them to basically just cut off connection with the dragon, and how to basically make your signet not disappear, but I don't know what the right term would be. Just not be there.
They can just drug you, can't they?
I have a feeling so far. So when they got separated, when the gang got separated, they were basically told to drink some water because they were thirsty, and that's kind of how they lost their powers.
Yeah.
How easy? Hear me out. If a battle is going to happen at some point, like a big battle, how easy do you reckon it would be for them to, like, and this could be a little bit far-fetched, but poison the water, or like so like everybody in the kingdom loses their powers? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining that very well.
Good
I just feel like
question.
that's a really interesting thing to be able to do. Because so
Yeah.
far, we've been told that this connection is like super strong, it's super rare, and once you're bonded, you're bonded for life, and blah blah blah. And obviously, the dragons and your bond grows, and the dragons grow, and you've got powers. But to be able to have it taken away from you so quickly and easily, I was a little bit taken back by how easy it was. And obviously, somebody at the school has the means to do that. So,
Maybe it was developed for Griffin Riders originally.
oh.
Maybe it works
But then
for both.
again, yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. I just thought, I was like, I really hope that this get brought up again in
Oh, it
some
will.
way. Yeah.
And I also think it was interesting that they had to drink water again, and she tasted the same thing again before her powers returned. So it's not like
Yeah.
maybe it does wear off, but also the terrifying thought that you have to be given an antidote for it to come back, and it won't just wear off in time. I didn't like that.
No. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Oh, yeah. I just feel like I don't think it's been as action packed in the sense of compared to book one. Liking the episode? Let us know how we're doing in the comments below. But please, no spoilers. And don't forget, you can find us at don'ttell_theboys on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube. We're all over the place. Make sure to follow us to stay updated with your new book besties. Oh, wait. I know we briefly mentioned this already, but I just wanted to add because I completely forgot. I really like Imogen's advice to Violet about basically when Imogen basically turns around to Violet and is like, you don't need to become Xaden, like you don't need to push everyone away. And I thought that was really a really nice advice, which Violet clearly hasn't taken on board. But I really hope that she just lets Rhiannon in a little bit more. She doesn't necessarily need to spill the tea, but she definitely opened up with Mira a little bit more by spilling some of the tea. But I just think that Mira was probably the wrong person to open up to.
I don't know. I really want to know how much Mira already knows.
Yeah.
And I don't think that she will. I don't think she'll end up on the wrong side. If she has all the information, I should say. I don't think she will. But
Yeah.
she was suspicious, and I feel like she might know more just because of her signet powers. Like she can kind of sense a lot more than she lets on. Maybe she's got a better understanding of the situation already than we realize. As for Imogen,
I don't know, because she acted a little bit clueless about I can't pronounce it.
wards.
The Griffin dragons with Wyvern,
Wyvern.
Wyvern. Yeah.
Mm.
She acted like she didn't know. So I was like, well, do you actually know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she knows either, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, so that interaction was quite interesting because she's not going to walk away from that with no questions. Violet's not that subtle. So
yeah.
But yeah,
I agree.
as for Imogen, you know what my feelings are about Imogen. I do think that was good advice, but generally speaking, I think Imogen needs to mind her own fucking business. Like, because for somebody who keeps saying she doesn't even like Violet, like, just give her the decency of acknowledge, like, publicly acknowledging a friendship there. Otherwise, you're just being mean for no reason. And then, like, just stay out of her business. I don't know. Imogen's got some work to do to win me over. I don't like the whole like I'm really super sassy and I can say whatever I want vibe. I think that she needs to be a better person.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, cuz I'm starting to like Imogen.
I don't think it's cute.
No. I still think she's a bit of a bitch, but we all are.
Yeah.
So
Can that not be her whole thing though? I don't know.
What, just
I like
her being
because she just. I don't know. I just don't think. Can you say a nice thing without immediately having to go afterwards? But like, I don't like you or whatever, and I don't want to be talking to you about this
right?
anyway. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
annoying
okay.
me.
Mm.
Just be, just be.
Just admit you like me.
Yeah, yeah. Just don't tell Violet that she doesn't have to be all closed off and weird whilst being closed off and weird.
Closed off and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, big facts.
So
I get that.
anyway, that's a personal gripe. I know. I'm
Mm.
sure Imogen will grow on me in time, but right now she's annoying me.
Yeah. No, I agree, to be fair. But I don't know. I am turning Team Imogen. I'm starting to like her. I'm starting to get
Yeah.
used to her,
Well,
basically.
you like mean people, and I don't, which is
Yeah.
why we get on so well. Or do I both just continue to pretend that that's not the reality?
We're like, yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Great. That's why
That's
we get
fine.
on so
Good.
well.
Yeah.
FMK, Solas,
Mm.
Day, and I can't
Mm.
remember what Jack's dragon was called, so I just put Jack's dragon.
Bade.
Bade. That's it.
Okay.
So yeah, Solas, Day, Bade.
Oh, that's really tough because obviously days is M. M. I'd M day all day.
Yeah.
But I've so little interest in either Bade or Solas. Like I could happily kill them both. So like it's annoying trying to have to put one of them in the fuck category. Um.
Mm.
Oh. At the moment, I want to fuck Bade and kill Solas, but I feel like I might change my mind in the future
Yeah.
because I still believe that Jack's alive, and if that's true, I'd swap it around.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
happy with that answer?
No, but do you agree? Do you disagree?
Yes, but I would swap Solas and Bade around, and it's a hear me out too because right, obviously, Day any day.
Yeah, obviously. It's not even a hear me out. It's just perfectly acceptable to say that.
Yeah, that one's an obvious one, but
Yeah.
I feel like Bade wasn't the problem. Jack was the problem. So like Jack was really had it out for Violet. So obviously Violet him.
Yeah.
So he's disposable in my eyes. But then with like how messed up I am in my mind, Solas is like this angry, like rugged dragon. And you know how like in season 1 I was like to Jack about Jack, I was like, I can fix him. Solas is giving me big F energy. Would be such a good time because he's got like this anger that I just think if Bade was human, obviously, and not what I'm talking about effing dragons,
Yeah.
I think Solas would be a really good time.
Right, but so I feel like I compared Solas previously to like the guy out of is it Randall from Monsters Inc. I definitely compared a dragon to
Yeah, no, it was Solas, yeah.
I think that for me is why it's like it's a pass, like a hard pass, because that doesn't do it for me at all, that mental image. But maybe like is it Randall from Monsters Inc. by the way? Is his name Randall?
I think it's Randall. Shall I
If
have a look?
if it's not, sorry, fans of his character, but if it is he an established hear me out already? Because I don't get that at all, but maybe the internet has spoken and he's already a smash.
What are you talking about, Randall? Or are you talking about?
Yeah, so maybe that comparison doesn't put people off.
Yeah.
But
I don't know, maybe.
he's not for me at all.
looking at
Like,
all the pictures of him now.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I get it. Just like these little, like, weasel, angry, like, vindictive.
No, I'm not. Like, normally, I'd be like, yeah, great, okay, I get where you're coming from, because I think a lot of the time that argument, I would get that.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. It's just not. It's just Solas are doing absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't. It's not even like the idea repulses me. It's that I'm totally indifferent. There's nothing happening
Right.
in
Okay.
response to that thought.
I don't know. I think when I think of the dragons, when we do FMKs or like hear me out, I don't think about them as dragons. I think about them like what they will look like as people and like
Yeah.
what their personality sort of like. Yeah. With Solus, I imagine him being this like big ruggedy man covered in like scars with
With an
one
eye
eye
patch.
and an like an
I
eye
get it.
patch,
Okay.
man bun vibe, like a very
We've got different mental images because in my head he's like an incel.
right. Okay.
Yeah, he's like, in my head he's like youngish but like generally bitter about
Yeah.
some stuff and has decided to take
Yeah.
it out on an entire group of people that had nothing to do with it. That's Solus to me. So that must be the difference. We're imagining very different
Yeah.
human versions. Whereas Bade, I agree,
Yeah.
she's not the problem. She's just sort of, I think I even described her previously as she's a bit of a mess. What we call an adorable disaster.
Yeah.
But she could become a lot more dangerous if Jack's back. So, and also we don't really know a lot about her character either. I guess we
Yeah.
haven't seen a lot apart from because she wasn't really in charge of that relationship, was she? So that we know of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I can. Yeah. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with the characters so far.
Okay.
And I've got one really random, like, would you rather, and it doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
I had this thought the other day, and it was one of those where, so it's would you rather have talons? Is it like the dragon, like
Yeah.
toes, like dragon toes
Yeah.
for hands, or miniature toe beans like a cat or a dog? You know, when they've got like really soft, round paws.
Yeah.
So I was like,
On your hands, right?
on your hands, as the hands,
Hands
like,
and
would you
feet, or just hands?
hands and feet? Yeah, I could do feet too. Yeah. Yeah.
Talons.
Would you rather talons?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Talons. Um,
Love
even
that. Yeah.
even with feet, even with feet as well. If it was hands
Yeah.
only, 100% talons. A bit harder if I have to choose to have it on the feet too. But no, still talons. Oh God,
I love that.
absolutely. Like,
Because that's exactly what I thought you were gonna say.
yeah, I'd feel so much safer walking home alone at night. No one's messing with
True.
me, or if they do, they're gonna get a really nasty surprise.
Yeah. That's a good
Toe
yeah.
beans. I feel like I'd obviously prefer someone else to have toe beans. I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
Would you
Okay.
choose toe beans?
Yeah.
Why?
I just think they're pretty cute. And if they're like dogs, they get all cheesy and like they smell really nice.
Cheesy.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain. It's a smell that like dogs have. I don't know if this happens with cats, but the best way that I can describe, like Millie has had a bath recently, so she's not at
Yeah.
that like good cheesy level. Whereas Rambo,
Oh.
he's not had a bath for about 3.5 weeks. So he's gone from like smelling like bubblegum, which is what his shampoo is, to like his own like little smell, which smells like quavers and popcorn. And it's really it's so nice.
Okay.
And
Okay.
like
Quaver's good.
I just,
All right.
like
Sorry,
a cheesy, like a palm smell. Like
No, stop! You're
parmesan.
making it worse. You're making it worse again. I didn't expect
Like
to have to
blue
try
cheese.
so
No,
hard.
okay.
I try so hard not to retch, but you were really getting me there for a minute. I thought I was.
Oh,
I've
it's
never
so good.
experienced the smell of cheesy dog toe beans.
Cheesy dog toe beans. Oh, it's the best smell on the planet. There is nothing better than like when your dog is fully ripe. That's what my man and I call it. It's fully ripe, and you go and give them like they're donated on like the couch or on the bed, and you go right in the middle of that crevice, and you just go, and it smells so good.
No, I
It
can't.
smells so good.
Right.
And
People of the internet, please, like who've owned dogs, can you please tell me if this is a thing? I've never owned a dog. The thought of smelling anyone's cheesy feet and being like, yeah, it just throws me so much. Is it like?
oh my god.
Is it great when it's a dog? Is it like smelling a baby's head? Is it like
Yeah.
that?
I feel like if you're a dog parent and you don't like that smell, then it's odd. Like it's unusual that if people don't like it.
I need to know that this is a thing, and I've just never heard about the
Yeah.
cheesy dog smell.
Because I think it's really funny that you're like, obviously you're a cat mum now. We've not mentioned that in this episode. You're a cat mum now.
I am now a cat mum.
I'm a dog mum, and
Yeah.
they're very different animals, as we've established.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very keen to know, like, the equivalent of the cheesy smell for a cat person. Like, what's a really weird thing that, like, you like that your cat does or is or, yeah, do?
Because, see, I always thought that my cat didn't smell. But I'm sure that maybe other people think she does. I don't know. To me, a cat does not have a smell once they've settled in. Obviously, they get smelly breath. Like, dogs and cats get smelly breath.
Yeah.
I think the cat just smells like the house. But I could be wrong. Obviously, the litter tray stuff is gross. But providing you take care of that,
you're good.
Don't notice it.
Yeah.
And I don't like dog smell either. As nature intended, I've become a cat lady. Nobody's surprised. This was always going to happen. Okay, I have a little quiz for you today. It's a new thing I'm trying.
Okay.
And it's called red flag, green flag.
Love.
So, I'm going to pull out a couple of character moments from these chapters. And you have to tell me if you think that it's a red flag or a green flag.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
Based off the things that we've agreed and disagreed on so far, I think this is going to be really interesting. Because I do not think we're going to agree.
Okay.
I think you might well be totally blind to some red flags.
Oh, fully. 100%. Go on.
The first one is Xaden's response to finding out that Violet is researching the wards. Red flag or green flag? I feel like we've already talked about this one a little bit, but you got to pick one. You can't say beige.
Oh no, I was going to say, can we have an amber?
No. You cannot have an amber. There is no such thing as an amber flag, and you cannot have a beige flag. Red flag, green flag.
I think in this case, I'd have to say red, just because you're being a hypocrite. You also like do stuff you don't tell her, and that we discussed. Red flag.
Okay, cool. We agree on that, because my brain was also like, oh, it's not all right when she does it then.
Yeah. Okay. Basically.
I get it. Like, he's protective. He cares about her a lot. He's just trying to look after her. I get that, but also red flag.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Red flag or green flag then? Second one. Violet nearly telling Rhiannon about what happened at Resson.
I'm torn because I do think at one point she should tell her friends. I don't know when she should tell her friends, but I think she should tell her friends at some point. However, I'd have to say red flag because she's meant to be keeping this a secret. And if she almost told them, I think it's going to become then a discussion of whether Xaden can trust her or not if she does say anything to anyone about it. So I'm going to put red flag.
I agree.
Oh, good.
And I feel like
Good.
you just really articulated what I was not able to try and say earlier when I was doing my very best. The reason I think that she shouldn't tell anybody is I think she's endangering a lot of people by taking that risk.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. In that situation, the tables would very quickly be turned and she would be the one asking for forgiveness. And actually, when you put it in that scenario, that huge betrayal of trust, I do think that Xaden would be justified in considering ending it.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. Like, don't get me wrong, this isn't us like what's the word? Justifying
Anyone's
agreeing with
behavior.
Xaden. Yeah, like for lying about Brennan and stuff, but I do think that in this case, there are so, like you said, so many lives on the line. If she, as much as I want her to open up to her friends, the consequences are enormous if she was to. So yeah, I think that was a big red flag moment.
Last one.
One.
So red flag or green flag? Violet withholding Sloane's letters from Liam to force her into training with Imogen.
Green flag, 100%.
Same. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, if I 100% agree with why Violet is doing it because she made a promise to Liam. First of all, I also don't understand. I mean, I do understand. Obviously, Sloane has lost her brother. However, it wasn't Violet's fault. And what's annoying me so much about this whole situation with Sloane is the fact that Violet doesn't want to bring up the fact that it was Xaden who ordered, actually, Liam to basically protect Violet no matter what.
But Imogen has said
Xaden's
that.
getting a free card. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Imogen said it.
Yeah, and I think it's like I get why Violet is doing what she's doing and not mentioning it because I assume that Xaden is also grieving and it's like it wasn't his fault. But no, it was. As much as I like Xaden, no, it was his fault because Liam wouldn't have put himself in that position if you hadn't ordered him to protect her no matter what.
Can I say something really controversial?
Go on. Of course.
I think it's Liam's fault.
Oh.
And I'm not, like, if we're going to point blame, because I don't think it's anyone's fault, but Liam's choices are his own choices. And
yeah, obviously.
like, ultimately, we know that Liam took that responsibility extremely seriously, even at times when he kind of admitted for himself that he was doing it, that was his decision. And he, I don't know, like, I don't, I think that was him, but everyone was involved.
Yeah,
but no, I feel like neither of us has said that yet, and I just thought maybe that's important, but because he's dead now, so he obviously can't have any responsibility for anything. But I do also think he made his choices. They were not bad choices, but he was his own person.
Yeah, of course, but I feel like obviously in this case, Sloane's gonna want to blame somebody, and I just think she's blaming the wrong person.
I think it would have been completely red flag behavior had Sloane not been, or is Sloane not being so self-destructive. Like, it's the fact that it was necessary is what made it a green flag for me, because Sloane should have been training every day with Imogen already, but she's refusing because she's self-destructing, and so that shouldn't have been necessary to do. It's not as if Sloane doesn't know she's at a disadvantage. She just seems not to care about her own well-being. And I don't think that Violet would have done that if the situation were not so dire.
Yeah, I agree. I do understand. You know, she's mourning her brother. Like, I get it. That whole thing is just stressing me out a little bit, but I get why Violet has done it. I agree. I would have done it myself. Big green flag. She's only trying to protect her. The same in a way that she couldn't protect Liam. And I think that's why it's such a big thing as well. Because in some ways, Liam was basically ordered to protect Violet all the freaking time. And now Violet wants to repay the favor and protect his little sister because she couldn't do that for him.
And as a result, she's kind of being Sloane's Xaden, but...
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
I'm actually kind of mad at the person who told Sloane. Like, who told Sloane that Liam died saving Violet's life? Why was that a necessary part of the story of how Liam died? Like, let's be honest. It wasn't Violet's fault. Like, what?
Yeah.
All that, you know, why is that important? I don't... Because obviously she's going to hyper-focus on that. Why would you give her that to hyper-focus on?
Yeah.
I think that whoever told Sloane that didn't need to add the insult to the injury. It's their fault. Was it Imogen?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh, no, it was Imogen, because Imogen mentioned that she wrote it in the letters.
Yeah, idiot. I'm sorry, Imogen. Like, Sloane's attitude's probably your fault right now, if anything.
Yeah, which is kind of why I think it's a green flag that Violet is basically punishing both of them. Being like, no, you will now have to train Sloane so that she survives because you did the bad thing.
I think Imogen would have done it anyway, but I just think Sloane's being an idiot. But yeah.
It's just taking time, isn't it? Yeah, it's taking time for her to convince.
I'm glad we agreed.
Yeah, that was good though. I really like those.
I might do that again if the opportunity arises.
Yeah.
Because it's not always easy finding would you rathers or doing an F, marry, kill if you've not had enough new characters. So we'll see. Yeah. Obviously, we're not getting a lot of like Xaden and Violet in the same room. Maybe what I just need is a bit more of them in the same room. I don't necessarily need it to be spicy, but I just need a little bit of the drama to be happening a bit more. Like I need maybe a little bit of jealousy here, a little bit of like something there. I don't know, just something to remind me of their chemistry a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I've not been getting it from their interactions at the moment, and maybe part of that is because, you know, I told you that Xaden's like cockiness is really annoying me. The way that he really is just taking for granted that A, Violet 100% still loves him, and B, she'll just get over it and like give in. And that's I just need to see him. I need to see a bit more of him appreciating that she might not just move on, and that he actually has to fight for it. I say this knowing that he clearly is trying to do the right thing. But I
get that. I get what you're saying, because at the moment, I feel like there is a bit of a lull. If that's the right saying. Yeah. I find myself looking forward to when they are together, wanting them to be together, because that's the only time we get something with them too, obviously. But also, like, what I really liked, especially the way that chapter 20 finished, and obviously like having that little conversation, is when he literally says, his arms tightens around me, and Xaden says, you love me, he whispers. And she goes, stops reminding me. And then the last sentence in that was like, really, maybe you're not the one I'm reminding. And I was like, holy crap. Like, he's having to like remind himself that she does care and she does have feelings. And here's why I think that's really interesting. I can't remember if it was on this set of last 10 chapters or the set before. And I think it was Imogen. Imogen basically mentions a woman that
Oh, it was
Xaden clearly
Bodhi.
had.
Yeah.
Bodhi, yeah.
Thank you
We've
for
not
reminding
really
me about that.
spoken about it because,
Mm.
but I did put it on threads, and people on threads were like, just wait. I'd like to think that this, especially this for me, I don't know if I'm overreacting, if I'm reading too much into it, but as you know, I do read too much into text.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling, and this is going to be a wild prediction, I guess, that if anybody is going to sway or a love triangle is going to form, I think Xaden will be the one that not chooses, not like cheats. I don't think he would cheat on Violet, but I think something might test their relationship. And I think he will be the one that sort of gets tested. Because why would Bodhi bring that woman up? I thought that was really random. And I
Mm.
thought that she gets mentioned. Violet isn't thinking about it at all. I know that we've briefly spoken about it, but she's not come up again. And now he's having to remind himself that she does like him because they're having this significant war with each other. And I
Well,
don't know.
he should have to remind himself because I'm on Violet's side, and
Yeah.
I said that I think that he needs to re-earn that. So he should
Mm.
be worried about it. That's what I wanted. Um, Otherwise,
Yeah.
he's just taking it for granted, and that's massive, like not good bad boy behavior. They're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you'll forgive me. I'll just keep behaving badly, and you'll just forgive me.
Yeah.
I hate that. I don't.
Mm.
I think I also like the possessive male main character as well. I want there to be a little bit more opportunity for him to be a little possessive, and maybe that's
Mm.
why I want to see a bit more of that kind of him needing to stake his claim a bit more, him not
Mm-hmm.
taking it for granted so much. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why. I just want to see a bit more possessiveness.
Mm.
Because I like it. And I don't want him to be the person that's in the middle of the
The three.
triangle.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he deserves it.
No, I don't think he does. I think
I think Violet needs the upper hand. I'm sick of her not having the upper
that's
hand
what
in
I
this
mean.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I'm so frustrated that this third woman,
Mm.
second woman, sorry, appears out of nowhere or is mentioned out of nowhere is because right now Violet needs either somebody new that's going to appreciate her or
Yeah.
somebody that's going to turn around and make Xaden appreciate her. And she, like you said, she needs to have the upper hand. And the thing for me that will ruin this book is if another woman gets introduced as like Xaden's ex and it all
Mm-hmm.
kicks off and Violet is the one that gets jealous because
If
she
he gives her
doesn't need
any
that right
reason to
now.
be insecure, I'll be
Yeah,
so pissed off. Like,
exactly.
yeah. I think I know that she's not being that well behaved with him at the moment. I know that she's
Mhm.
withholding affection and all of that.
But
But
I think at this
I
point
just
it's well, like, not
it's
deserved. Yeah, well
acceptable.
deserved.
Yeah, like it's understandable
Yeah,
because I'm sick of her having to feel insecure in this relationship. So I don't want to see
yeah,
more of that. I want
yeah.
to see less of that, or I want to see a reciprocation. That's
Hmm.
what I want. But we'll see.
Yeah,
Well, hopefully
yeah,
we'll see in the next episode.
yeah.
I think that's a wrap on these chapters.
I guess we'll
Hopefully we'll
see you
find
guys next
out.
week.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find out all the answers to our questions. And we'll bring them to you in next week's episode.
Stay
I
tuned.
guess. Stay tuned. We'll see you then.
We have reached the end of this episode, but we would love to know your thoughts. Please rate our podcast after you've decided you like it. Don't forget you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube at don't tell_the boys.